Chapter 44-35. After Yi Qiangwei entered the arena with her father, she temporarily left him. According to her, today was the day her good sister, Wang Luoyu, got married. As her elder sister, she had to accompany Wang Luoyu. Yi Qing did not think there was anything wrong with this. It was to the extent that when he realized Wang Luoyu's husband, Li Feng, was a peerless monster, he wished his daughter would have a closer relationship with Wang Luoyu. Therefore, he agreed to his daughter's request without the slightest hesitation. As for Yi Qiangwei, who was leaving Kargalik, that old woman was still following behind her like a shadow. Young Mississippi, perhaps Yi Qing did not know his daughter's thoughts. But the old woman who was always by Yi Qiangwei's side could vaguely guess Yi Qiangwei's current feelings. Some people are just passers-by. Don't take it to heart. She knew that her young miss had a favorable impression of that young man who called himself Duanling Tian. Although her young miss didn't mention it, as someone who had experienced it before, it wasn't difficult for her to notice. "Granny, why don't you think he told me his real name?" Yi Qiangwei was slightly disappointed. So his name was Li Feng, not Duanling Tian. Why did he lie to her? Was she not even worthy of a word of truth? "Young miss, don't think too much." The old woman shook her head and said, "Since young Master Li Feng did not tell you his real name, it means he must have his own concerns. You should understand him. Moreover, he's going to become young Miss Luoyu's husband soon. From today onwards, there will be a lot of interactions between the two of you." The old woman continued. Of course, the old woman's words had a double meaning. She was clearly telling her young miss that Li Feng was already taken, and hinting her young miss to stop thinking too much. She knew her young miss was arrogant. In the past, she had never beamed with joy in front of men of the same age. Only that young man Li Feng made her young miss unable to forget. Yes, Yi Qiangwei's delicate body trembled slightly. He's going to be Sister Luoyu's husband soon. Speaking of which, from today onwards, he's my brother-in-law. "Granny, I'm fine. Now let's go find Luoyu. Since her brother is no longer around, I will accompany her on behalf of her brother and watch her get married," Yi Qiangwei said. Hearing her young miss's words, the old woman secretly heaved a sigh of relief and hurriedly responded. She could tell that her mistress had let it go. Even if it was only for a moment, as long as there was enough time, she believed that her young miss would be able to let it go completely. Sister Rose. Wang Luoyu, who was preparing at the back, was surrounded by a group of people. There were also 3 or 4 women who were in charge of adjusting her makeup. Although her makeup was not done yet, her appearance today was far better than her usual self. Even if the Duanling Tian were here, looking at Wang Luoyu now, he might feel that she had some experience. "Sister Luoyu, you're so beautiful." Even Yi Qiangwei, who was also a woman, couldn't help but smile when she saw Wang Luoyu. "Big Sister Rose, since you came with Uncle Yi, then you should have already met Big Brother Li Feng, right?" Wang Luoyu asked Yi Qiangwei with a smile as she cooperated with the women around her. She knew that her big sister Rose was full of curiosity towards her big brother Li Feng. It was a pity that big brother Li Feng didn't want to meet her. Now she could finally get what she wanted. "Yes, I met him." Yi Qiangwei nodded. "Sister Luoyu, do you still remember that I told you that I was saved by a young expert on my way here?" Wang Luoyu nodded with a face full of fear. "Luckily that big brother saved you. Otherwise, I really can't imagine what would have happened to you." Wang Luoyu still had a face full of fear when she thought about that incident. In fact, when Yi Qiangwei first arrived, she didn't mention it because she was afraid that Wang Luoyu would be worried. It was only until many days later that she brought it up in a casual conversation. Even so, Wang Luoyu was still shocked. Only then did she know that her big sister Rose was almost kidnapped by the people from the Blood Sea, because of her. Fortunately, a young expert took action and saved her big sister Rose. "Today, I met him again," Yi Qiangwei said. Wang Luoyu was stunned and then asked curiously, "Big Sister Rose, was he invited to my wedding with Big Brother Li Feng? Did you greet him? This time, did he tell you his name?" Wang Luoyu was very curious about this. That day, when her big sister Rose told her that the other party refused to talk to her too much, and didn't even want to tell her his name, she was shocked. She couldn't imagine what kind of person would be so disdainful of a beauty like her big sister Rose. Could it be that he liked men and didn't like women? He wasn't invited to your wedding. Yi Qiangwei looked at Wang Luoyu with a complicated gaze and sighed. He is your big brother Li Feng. This sentence made Wang Luoyu completely stunned. Big brother Li Feng? Elder brother Duan? Elder brother Duan was the one who saved big sister Rose? Wang Luoyu's gaze became complicated when she thought of this. It turned out that the young man who came all the way to Lanshao City's Wang family just to fulfill his promise had already met Sister Rose before meeting him. Furthermore, he had even saved Sister Rose. Big brother Li Feng. At this moment, Wang Luoyu took a few more glances at Yi Qiangwei. It was not difficult to see the loneliness in her eyes. What a joke. I can't believe elder brother Duan is the one who saved big sister Rose. Moreover, it's obvious that big sister Rose has feelings for him. Wang Luoyu's heart trembled. At the same time, her eyes flashed. She almost wanted to tell Yi Qiangwei the truth about Duan Lingtian, saving her from the Wang clan. At the critical moment, she remembered her elder brother Duan's warning and recognized him as her master. I can't believe the person who saved big sister Rose is big brother Li Feng. I didn't hear big brother Li Feng mention this before. At this moment, Wang Luoyu felt a little guilty and embarrassed. In the end, it was Yi Qiangwei who came back to her senses and changed the topic to break the slightly awkward atmosphere. At this time, she was also somewhat regretful that she had expressed some admiration for her life-saving grace in front of Wang Luoyu that day. Miss Luoyu, it's almost time. Let's get ready and go out. After Wang Luoyu's makeup was done, and she chatted with Yi Qiangwei for a while, someone rushed over and reminded Wang Luoyu. At this moment, the surrounding Wang clan members began to get busy again. Yi Qiangwei followed Wang Luoyu because she had planned to be Wang Luoyu's maternal family member and send her to that man's side. At the same time, Duan Lingtian was already waiting on the other side. According to the wedding customs of the Wang clan in Lanshao City, he and Wang Luoyu would enter from two different directions and gather on the high platform to face the guests seated below the high platform. After that, there would be a series of ceremonies. After the ceremony, the two of them would be considered to have completed the wedding. After that, they would toast the guests and thank them. The wedding ceremony was held in the vast martial arts arena of the Wang clan. Of course, the arena had been decorated with lanterns and colored banners. It looked very jubilant. In front of a table of banquet, Meng Yujing looked at Tan Xiuting excitedly and asked hurriedly through voice transmission. Uncle Tan, the elder master, is really coming? Yes. Tan Xiuting nodded and replied through voice transmission. His honor said that he also wants to see what kind of background this fellow has to be able to make the Wang clan reject him. Reject the Meng clan that has such a powerful person like him in charge. When will the elder master arrive? Meng Yujing's tone became more urgent. At the same time, his eyes shone brightly, like a drowning person who had grabbed onto a life-saving straw. Chapter 44-36. He should be arriving soon. Just as Tan Xiuting was replying to Meng Yujing, a figure was traveling on the road from Kinglan City to Lanshao City. Feng Su was riding on the wind. He was above the clouds, and his figure was ethereal. Even when people passed by below, they did not discover his whereabouts. It was an old man. He looked old from afar, but up close, he had white hair and a youthful face. There were faint black strands in his grayish-white hair, and his face was very ruddy. He looked more like a young man who had deliberately made up and dressed like an old man. The old man was wearing a light gray robe. As he moved, the sound of wind and thunder could be heard. Bursts of imperceptible flames swept through the air, causing the air to sizzle. Wang clan. As the old man ran, his eyes were somewhat ethereal. Scenes from back then appeared in his mind. That year he was only a junior who was not even 10,000 years old. He followed his elders to Lanshao City to meet the Wang clan's ultimate powerhouse patriarch, as if he was on a pilgrimage. The Wang clan's ultimate powerhouse patriarch was much stronger than an ordinary ultimate powerhouse. It was also because of this that the Wang clan at that time not only had a high status in Lanshao City, but also in the entire Sky Sand territory, not to mention anything else. Even the 5 ultimate powerhouses of the 5 great clans of Dancing Sun City, who had recently been annihilated, could not stop the powerful demon Venerable of Qi Ming Mountain and his helpers. If it were the 5 great clans of Dancing Sun City, or the great clans of Lanshao City, just the Wang clan's patriarch alone was enough to make the demon Venerable of Qi Ming Mountain wary, and not dare to provoke him. I really didn't expect that the Wang clan that was so powerful in the past would be reduced to such a state now. They can only rely on Senior Wang's protection. Now there are still a few ultimate powerhouses that the Wang clan can rely on. But what will happen in the future? If the Wang clan does not produce an ultimate powerhouse, their status today will soon be gone. Thinking of this, the old man thought of the clan behind him. However, while I'm lamenting the Wang clan, isn't my Ming clan the same? Now that I've stepped into the realm of an ultimate powerhouse, my strength has improved, and my lifespan has become longer. However, even so, there will be a day when I leave. Today, all the glory the Ming clan has gained because of me will vanish with me. As the old man muttered to himself, he sighed again. Based on the old man's words, his identity was obvious. He was the new supreme expert of the Ming clan, Ming Tianfeng. Lan Xiaoqing. The Wang family. With the appearance of the newlyweds, the atmosphere of the Wang family's wedding banquet was completely ignited. This son-in-law of the Wang family is really a talent. Just her looks alone are enough to make her the #1 beauty in Lanshao City. I wonder what kind of background this son-in-law of the Wang family has. For the Wang family to reject the Ming family, his background must be extraordinary. When Duan Lingtian and Wang Luoyu walked up to the stage from 2 different directions, the guests below the stage couldn't help but burst into discussion. Wang Luoyu was the #1 beauty in Lanshao City. Even those who had not seen her before were mentally prepared for her appearance. However, they were unfamiliar with Duan Lingtian's alias, Li Feng. Due to this reason, most of the people's attention was on Li Feng. Welcome to our Wang family's grand wedding banquet. As the patriarch of the Wang family, I, Wang Kuei, would like to thank all of you for taking the time out of your busy schedules to attend this banquet. On the stage, the patriarch of the Wang family, Wang Kuei, bowed to the people below the stage as he was the one presiding over the wedding. In fact, it was rare for the patriarch of the Wang family to be the one presiding over the wedding banquet, unless it was a direct descendant of the family marrying a woman from a prominent family, or a direct descendant of the family marrying a person from a prominent family. As for the latter, it was usually a wedding banquet held in the Feng family. The patriarch of the Wang family would never be the one presiding over the wedding banquet. Therefore, in the history of the Wang family, there were very few cases where the patriarch of the Wang family would be the one presiding over the wedding of a direct descendant of the Wang family. As the current patriarch of the Wang family, this was the first time Wang Kuei had encountered such a situation. In the past, he had been the one presiding over the wedding banquet as well. However, he had been the sole casting stone for the male direct descendant of the Wang family, the female direct descendant of the Wang family, and even the female direct descendant of the Wang family. This was his first time. Because of this, it caused a lot of discussion among the people below the stage. They all felt that the Wang family's son-in-law this time was definitely not simple. He was definitely not an ordinary person. Today is the wedding banquet of our Wang family's direct descendant, Wang Luoyu. Today, she will officially marry Li Feng, a young talent who came from outside of the Skysand realm. I, and even the Wang family, will give them our highest blessings. Also, when Duan Lingtian and Wang Luoyu walked up to the stage, Wang Kuei, the patriarch of the Wang family, began a long speech that Duan Lingtian almost dozed off. However, during this process, Duan Lingtian's gaze swept across the crowd below the stage. Most people's gazes were normal. They stared at him with eyes full of puzzlement and curiosity. However, there was also one gaze that was exceptionally sharp and vicious. It was none other than the disciple of the Meng family from Kanglan City, who had been overbearing when he had accompanied Wang Kuei to welcome the guests earlier, Meng Yuzheng. Duan Lingtian had not taken Meng Yuzheng seriously from the beginning. Even now it was still the same. Therefore he completely ignored Meng Yuzheng's vicious gaze. However, just because he ignored Meng Yuzheng did not mean that Meng Yuzheng also ignored him. At this moment, while Meng Yuzheng stared at Duan Lingtian, he did not forget to send a voice transmission to Duan Lingtian. "Kid, you'll pay the price for your recklessness. I'll tell you the truth. My great-grandfather, the strongest person in our Meng family, is about to arrive. Once he arrives, your wedding will be over. I only hope that you can be as unyielding as before in front of that old man. When Meng Yujing sent the voice transmission, his tone was cold and filled with a strong sense of threat. When Duan Lingtian heard Meng Yujing's voice transmission, he did not look back at him. This made Meng Yujing even more furious. This bastard. Does he think that I'm lying to him and scaring him? At the same time, Wang Kuei, the Wang family's patriarch, finished his long speech and formally introduced Duan Lingtian to the guests below the stage. Of course, he did not go into detail about his talent and strength. He only said that he came from a large family outside of Tiansha. He was a rare young talent. After introducing Duan Lingtian's alias, Li Feng, he introduced Wang Luoyu, who was next to Duan Lingtian. At the same time, he passed the wedding gift that the Wang family had prepared to Wang Luoyu. Luoyu, even if you're married, you're still a member of our Wang family. This will never change. Wang Kuei smiled warmly. Wang Luoyu was, naturally, flattered and guiltily accepted the wedding gift from the Wang family. She knew this was a critical moment, and she could not let the cat out of the bag. She did not want to ruin her elder brother Duan's plan. After this wedding, I'll have to leave the Meng family. I heard from elder brother Duan that his hometown, the God Defiance realm, is not bad. Perhaps I can consider going there and find a mundane realm to spend the rest of my life there. Wang Luoyu thought to herself. When the ceremony was about to end, and the guests below the stage began to eat, a clear voice rang out. A voice that was not loud but extremely clear suddenly rang in everyone's ears out of thin air. It seemed to come from all directions, and it was difficult to identify the specific source of the voice. I'm Meng Tianfeng from the Meng family. I've heard that the Wang family is marrying off a daughter, so I've come to ask for a toast. When the crowd heard this voice, they were all shocked. The Meng family? Meng Tianfeng? Is that the new supreme powerhouse from the Meng family in Songlan City? Many people cried out in surprise as their eyes widened. It's him. I didn't expect him to come personally. What's going on? A supreme powerhouse is here to attend the wedding of a junior from the Wang family? This doesn't make sense. Could the rumors be true? Meng Tianfeng, the new supreme powerhouse from the Meng family, wanted the Wang family to betroth Wang Luoyu to a junior from the Meng family, but the Wang family rejected him? If this is true, this Meng Tianfeng has come with ill intentions. Chapter 4437. The ultimate powerhouse of the Meng clan, Meng Tianfeng. He had arrived at the Wang clan in Lanshao City. Wang Kuei, the clan leader of the Wang clan, who had a joyous smile on his face, heard the voice from outside. His expression changed slightly before he calmed down. Then he rose into the air and looked in the direction of Kanglan City where the Meng clan was located. He bowed slightly and cupped his hands. Clan leader of the Wang clan, Wang Kuei, welcomes Senior Meng Tianfeng. In fact, Wang Kuei did not know where Meng Tianfeng's voice came from. However, he knew that he was most likely in the direction of Kanglan City. This was because he was most likely from the Meng clan in Kanglan City. Clan leader Wang was just a young man when I first met you. I didn't expect you to become the clan leader of the Wang clan today. The voice rang out again. Then an old man with white hair and a ruddy complexion arrived with the wind. Very soon, he appeared in Wang Kuei's field of vision, and before everyone present. It's Senior Meng Tianfeng from the Meng clan. When Meng Tianfeng appeared, many people present recognized him immediately. Among them, there were also some old people who looked at Meng Tianfeng with complicated expressions. They could be considered Meng Tianfeng's old friends, and they were people of the same generation as Meng Tianfeng. However, today the difference between them and Meng Tianfeng was like the difference between heaven and earth. Greetings, Senior Meng Tianfeng. As many people left their seats and bowed respectfully to Meng Tianfeng, the rest of the people present also stood up and bowed respectfully to Meng Tianfeng. Only a small number of senior elders remained seated in front of the table, with no intention of standing up. They were either from the same generation as Meng Tianfeng or from the forces behind them. They were not afraid of the Meng clan in Kanglan City, who had Meng Tianfeng now. Although they were not ultimate powerhouses, they still had the pride of a powerful force. For example, Ta Yu, one of the 3 great demons under the venerable demon of the Qi Ming Mountain, and his adopted son, Ta Ming Sha, sat there motionlessly. They had no intention of bowing to Meng Tianfeng. The venerable demon of the Qi Ming Mountain was extremely powerful. He was considered a powerhouse even among the ultimate powerhouses. During the Battle of Dancing Sun City, there were 5 ultimate powerhouses in Dancing Sun City. If there were 2 less, the venerable demon of the Qi Ming Mountain would not even need to ask for help. At this moment, with the arrival of the Meng Tianfeng, the new ultimate powerhouse of the Meng clan, Duan Lingtian's name was completely stolen the limelight. As for Duan Lingtian himself, he was also the ultimate powerhouse of the clan. There was no fear on Meng Qi's face. More often than not, it was more casual. This is the new clan ultimate powerhouse of the clan ultimate? He doesn't look much different from those few supreme experts in the Dancing Sun City. Meng Tian is SS name. Currently, Duan Lingtian was no longer the young lad who had never seen a supreme powerhouse before. During the battle in Dancing Sun City, not only did he see many supreme powerhouses, but he had also seen them fighting. However, his eyes and divine consciousness could not follow their movements. He could not see how they fought. Before he met an ultimate powerhouse, he was filled with longing and yearning for them. Now he was just like that. An ultimate powerhouse was an even more powerful existence. They were also living beings with emotions and desires. They were afraid of death and wanted to continue living. Apart from being stronger, they were no different from others. I didn't expect Senior to still remember me. Hearing Meng Tianfeng's words, Wang Kuei, the head of the Wang family, was flattered. After all, although he had seen the old man in front of him back then, it was only once. At that time, the other party was already an important figure in the Meng clan of Kanglan City. When he came to the Wang clan as a guest, the Wang clan leader had personally accompanied him. On the other hand, he was just a young man. At that time, I could tell that you were different from ordinary young men. Later, when I heard that you had become the Wang clan leader, I mentioned this to a few old friends and praised myself for having a good eye. Meng Tianfeng smiled faintly and said, Clan leader Wang, let's end our small talk here. There are many old friends of mine here. Let me greet them. As soon as he finished speaking, Meng Tianfeng's figure flashed, and he was already in the open space below. In the next moment, more than a dozen figures went up to greet Meng Tianfeng. Brother Meng, congratulations. Brother Meng, I personally went to Kanglan City to congratulate you. But because you were in seclusion, I didn't dare to disturb you. I only wanted to visit again in the future, but I didn't expect to meet you here in advance. Brother Meng, how have you been? Before Meng Tianfeng became an ultimate powerhouse, he was an important figure in the Meng clan of Kanglan City. He had also trained outside for many years and made many connections, so he had many friends outside. Among them, there was no lack of people from the ultimate forces. At the same time, the Meng clan's disciple, Meng Yuzheng, also walked over with Tan Xiuting and bowed respectfully to Meng Tianfeng. Yuzheng greets the ancestor. Supreme Lord. Tan Xiuting also bowed respectfully to Meng Tianfeng. Then he took a few steps forward and stood behind Meng Tianfeng respectfully. Seeing the famous Azure Flame Saber Monarch in the Sky Sand territory act like this, Meng Tianfeng's group of old friends had complicated expressions. The Azure Flame Saber Monarch was not weaker than them. In fact, he was even stronger than them. They had befriended him as equals. But now he had become Meng Tianfeng's follower. Just now, although Meng Tianfeng did not put on any airs, the pressure from the aura of an ultimate powerhouse made them feel as if they were sitting on pins and needles. After greeting him, they had the urge to quickly leave. They knew that Meng Tianfeng was no longer people of the same world as them. As long as they did not step into the ultimate realm, they could not be the same as before in front of Meng Tianfeng. Ancestor, that guy is the one who is going to marry the daughter of the Wang clan, Wang Luoyu. His name is Li Feng. He knows that I'm from the Meng clan of Kanglan City, and that the Meng clan has an existence like you, but he still doesn't give me or the Meng clan any face. Meng Yuzheng complained to Meng Tianfeng as soon as he opened his mouth. At this moment, Meng Tianfeng's group of old friends, who were just about to find an excuse to leave, raised their eyebrows. It seemed that, The rumors might really be true. The Wang clan had rejected their old friend this time, and instead married the daughter of the Wang clan to a young talent from outside the Tiansha realm. However, they did not think that their old friend would be angry because of this. After all, the background of the Wang clan's son-in-law was still unclear. Rashly offending him might not be a good thing for the Meng clan. The Wang clan's choice actually explained many things. As expected, in the face of Meng Yuzhing's complaint, Meng Tianfeng said indifferently, "In my opinion, it's you who doesn't know what's good for you and offended the son-in-law of the Wang clan, right?" Now, although Meng Tianfeng and the others were in a corner of the wedding banquet, they were still the center of attention, and had never left the sight of the crowd. "Go. Apologize to young friendly Feng." When Meng Tianfeng spoke with a stern tone, not only was Meng Yuzhing dumbfounded, but even the members of the Wang clan, and the various guests present were stunned. What was going on? Could it be that the ultimate powerhouse of the Meng clan, Meng Tianfeng, knew the identity and background of the Wang clan's son-in-law? Otherwise, why would he do this? Ancestor. Meng Yuzhing's expression changed drastically. He originally thought that his greatest backer had arrived, but at this moment, it was as if he had fallen from heaven into the dark and boundless abyss of hell. Chapter 44-38. Even the Azure Flame Saber King, Tan Xiuting, who was standing behind Meng Tianfeng, was stunned. He had no idea what was going on. He had always thought that the person in front of him was angry that the Wang clan in Lanshao City did not give him face by not marrying Wang Luoyu to his direct descendant, Meng Yuzhing. He had thought that this person was here to cause trouble for the Wang clan. He did not expect that after Meng Yuzhing complained, he would reprimand him and even ask him to apologize to the Wang clan's son-in-law. What's going on? Tan Xiuting and Meng Yuzhing were not the only ones who were stunned. Everyone else was stunned as well. This was especially true for the clan leader of the Wang clan, Wang Kuei. He also thought that Meng Tianfeng had come to look for trouble, and he was even prepared to send a message to get support. However, he never expected that Meng Tianfeng would actually change the topic and say something that everyone found unbelievable when Meng Yuzhing took the initiative to complain, and almost everyone thought that he would stand up for Meng Yuzhing. He actually asked his direct descendant, Meng Yuzhing, to apologize to Li Feng. Moreover, when he mentioned Li Feng, he even addressed Li Feng as young friend Li Feng. After all, this was a supreme powerhouse. Could it be that he knows about brother Li Feng's background? At this moment, Wang Kuei could only think of this possibility. What are you waiting for? Why aren't you going? Meng Tianfeng looked at Meng Yuzhing indifferently. Although his tone was calm, when it entered Meng Yuzhing's ears, it was like a huge bell that shook his heart. In the next moment, even though Meng Yuzhing was extremely unwilling, he did not dare to hesitate. Under the watchful eyes of the crowd, he walked toward the bridegroom today, Duan Lingtian, whose alias was Li Feng. Li Feng, I'm sorry. Once again arriving in front of Duan Lingtian, Meng Yuzhing no longer had the arrogance from before. Although the depths of his eyes still contained unwillingness and anger, he did not dare to show it on the surface. As for Duan Lingtian, when faced with Meng Yuzheng's apology, he instead said indifferently, "Young Master Meng, I don't think you've done anything wrong to me. Everyone has a heart that loves beauty, I can understand." Hearing Duan Lingtian's words, Meng Yuzhing took a deep look at Duan Lingtian before turning around and leaving. He returned behind Meng Tianfeng and stood side by side with Tan Xiuting. As for Meng Tianfeng himself, his gaze was also on Duan Lingtian. He nodded and smiled at the Duan Lingtian. "Little friend Li Feng, I heard that you came from outside the heavenly sand realm. I think the faction behind you is not ordinary." As soon as Meng Tianfeng said this, Duan Lingtian shook his head. "Senior, you flatter me. The power behind me is definitely incomparable to the current Meng family of Kanglan City." Incomparable? When Duan Lingtian said this, it sounded like he was being modest. However, when it entered the ears of Meng Tianfeng and Wang Kuei, it was completely different. Incomparable. Was the power behind Li Feng incomparable to the Meng family? Or was the Meng family incomparable to the power behind him? There was a double meaning in his words. At this moment, Wang Kuei was also somewhat stunned. So this old fart Meng Tianfeng doesn't know about brother Li Feng's background? If he knew, he would not have said such a thing. There was no need for that. It was better to just get close to him. However, if that was the case, why was Meng Tianfeng so polite to brother Li Feng? Wang Kuei could not understand. Could it be because my Wang family's attitude towards brother Li Feng is different? Although this could explain some things, it should not be enough to make a supreme expert like Meng Tianfeng lower his head. There must be some other reason. My young friend Li Feng, you are too humble. Meng Tianfeng shook his head. If I say that my young friend Li Feng came from a humble background, I'm afraid no one would believe that you were able to get the inherited heaven sword from the Wang family. When Meng Tianfeng said this, Duan Lingtian did not feel anything. This was because he had never heard of the inherited heaven sword. However, Duan Lingtian did not feel anything. It did not mean that others did not feel anything. Especially the Wang family head, Wang Kuei. His pupils shrank sharply as his heart trembled. How did he know? The inherited heaven sword. This was the name of the supreme expert that he had personally invited to the Wang clan. When that supreme expert was only a high-level ultimate god, this name had already resounded throughout the entire Heavenly Sand territory. Now the name of the inherited heaven sword was even more shocking in the Sky Sand territory. This was because he was one of the strongest supreme experts in the Sky Sand territory. He was as famous as the Qiming demon venerable from the Qiming mountain. If the supreme experts in the Sky Sand territory were divided into two echelons, then supreme experts like the inherited heaven sword, Situlei, and the Qiming demon venerable would be in the first echelon. For example, Meng Tianfeng, the other supreme experts in Lanshao City, Kanglan City, and even the 5 supreme experts in Dancing Sun City would be in the second echelon. What? The inherited heaven sword is here? The Wang family is so influential? Although I heard that the Wang family was related to the inherited heaven sword, Situ Venerable, it was only hearsay. After all, the inherited heaven sword is such a lofty existence. I didn't expect it to be related to the Wang family. I heard about this too. I thought it was fake, but now it seems like it might be true. Earlier, someone said that if the Wang family was only related to ordinary supreme experts and did not have any supreme experts to rely on, they would not be able to maintain their mansion in Lanshao City. It was because of the existence of the inherited heaven sword that they could do this. Now it seems like it's true. Many guests present were in an uproar at this time. Of course, there were also some guests who were not surprised. It was obvious that they knew about the relationship between the inherited heaven sword and the Wang family. Among them was the Ye family's elder, Yi Cheng, and Yi Qiangwei's father. I didn't expect the Wang family to invite the inherited heaven sword, Situlei. It seems like the Wang family has a certain understanding of this young man's strength and background. Yi Cheng was secretly shocked. At this time, Duan Lingtian also learned about the coldness of the 3 words inherited heaven sword, through the discussions and whispers of many guests. The inherited heaven sword, Situlei, was a top powerhouse in Tiansha. He was as famous as the Qiming demon venerable of Qiming mountain. Patriarch Wang. At this time, Meng Tianfeng looked at Wang Kuei and said with a faint smile, I'm here to congratulate the Wang family on this marriage and to pay a visit to the inherited heaven sword, Senior Situ. Patriarch Wang, please tell him that I, Meng Tianfeng, want to meet Senior Situ. I have some questions about cultivation that I need to ask him for help. It was a complete accident that Meng Tianfeng knew that the inherited heaven sword had come to the Wang family. This was because he had gone to the inherited heaven sword's cultivation ground at around the same time, and was told that the inherited heaven sword had already left. It should be noted that the inherited heaven sword rarely left its place of practice. It was usually in secluded cultivation. This time it had left at this time, so it was easy to imagine its destination. It was also at this moment that he guessed that the inherited heaven sword was most likely taken away by the Wang family of Lengxiaking. Just now, when he saw the reaction of the patriarch of the Wang family, Wang Kuei, he confirmed his guess. The inherited heaven sword, Situlei, was in the Wang family. Senior Meng. At the same time, Wang Kuei spoke after a moment of silence. Senior Situ wants you to meet him. Please follow me. As soon as he finished speaking, Wang Kuei led the way. Meng Tianfeng followed closely behind him. A wedding was completely interrupted with the arrival of Meng Tianfeng, and the originally festive atmosphere came to an abrupt end. If it were a normal newlywed, they would definitely be angry at Meng Tianfeng for stealing the limelight. However, Duan Lingtian and Wang Luoyu did not feel anything. Instead, it was Yi Qiangwei who complained unhappily in Wang Luoyu's ear. This new supreme master of the Meng family came at the right time. But it's not bad to see Meng Yujing suffer. He's really a toad lusting after a swan. How can a good-for-nothing like Meng Yujing be worthy of my sister Luoyu? Duan Lingtian was beside Wang Luoyu at this time. When he heard Yi Qiangwei's words, he did not say anything. Instead, it was Wang Luoyu who comforted Yi Qiangwei. It was as if the female lead today was not her but Yi Qiangwei. This was because Yi Qiangwei was even more annoyed. Duan Lingtian inadvertently looked around and happened to meet Meng Yujing's eyes. It was as if fire was about to shoot out of Meng Yujing's eyes. The hatred in his eyes was even more intense than before. Duan Lingtian did not care about this. He did not care about a good-for-nothing like him. If the Meng family wanted to deal with him, as long as Meng Tianfeng did not personally make a move, no one in the Meng family would be able to stop him. Uncle Tan. Tan Xiuting did not leave with Meng Tianfeng. He stood beside Meng Yujing and heard Meng Yujing's words. After today, you can find an opportunity to kill him. As long as you bring his corpse back to me, I'll lend you the paramount divinity to comprehend. I believe in Uncle Tan's methods. The flames of hatred burned in the depths of Meng Yujing's eyes. On the other hand, the flames of greed rose in Tan Xiuting's eyes. However, although he yearned for the paramount divinity that was suitable for him to comprehend, Tan Xiuting still retained his rationality. Meng Tianfeng's words today are not without reason. This Li Feng is definitely not an ordinary person. Otherwise, the Wang family would not have been able to get the inherited heaven sword for him. Although he, Tan Xiuting, was also known as the Azure Flame Saber King. However, in front of the inherited heaven sword, he was only a younger brother among younger brothers. There was no comparison at all. Even before the inherited heaven sword had become an ultimate expert, it would have been extremely easy to kill him. Moreover, the inherited heaven sword had become an ultimate expert and stood at the peak of the heavenly sand realm. Even if I find an opportunity to make a move, I still have to test him. Although it's almost impossible for him to have an ultimate expert protecting him, it doesn't mean that he doesn't have an ultimate expert protecting him. After confirming that he has no one protecting him, or that I can deal with the people protecting him, I'll make a move. Chapter 4439. Although Tan Xiuting dreamed of obtaining a suitable omnipotent divinity, even if it was just borrowing it. However, if he could lose his life because of it, he would rather not. Although he was ambitious, the prerequisite for achieving his ambition was to be able to live on properly. Once a person died, there would be nothing left. No matter how ambitious he was, he would need to be alive to be able to grow wild. Uncle Tan. Seeing that Tan Xiuting did not respond for a long time, Meng Yujing's expression darkened. Could it be that the Azure Flame Saber King was so frightened today that he forgot about the deal he made with him? Or did he not have the guts to continue the deal? I know what to do. Tan Xiuting spoke at this time. As long as there is a chance, I will not give up the chance to borrow the omnipotent divinity from you. Hearing Tan Xiuting's words, Meng Yujing inwardly heaved a sigh of relief. His originally gloomy expression eased a lot, and the corners of his mouth curled up into a cold smile. Li Feng. So what if you're in the limelight today? Unless you don't leave the Wang family. Unless the Wang family can send experts to protect you. Otherwise, when the Azure Flame Saber King makes a move, you won't be able to escape death. Although the inherited heaven sword was guarding the Wang family today, which made him feel extremely sullen, Meng Yujing also knew that the inherited heaven sword was invited by the Wang family to guard the situation. It was impossible for the inherited heaven sword to protect the Wang family's son-in-law, Li Feng. Even the other experts of the Wang family who were comparable to the Azure Flame Saber King, Tan Xiuting, would not be sent to protect Li Feng. This was because such experts could be counted on one hand in the entire Wang family. They were the top experts of the Wang family. It was impossible for them to be a guard. even if that person was the son-in-law of the Wang family. At this moment, Duan Lingtian naturally did not know what Meng Yujing was thinking, nor did he know that the Azure Flame Saber King, Tan Xiuting, had reached an agreement with Meng Yujing. Duan Lingtian was waiting for the return of the Wang family's patriarch, Wang Kuei, to continue the wedding between Li Feng and Wang Luoyu. With the arrival of the strongest expert of the Meng clan, Meng Tianfeng, the wedding had lost a lot of the limelight. Even after Meng Tianfeng left, most people were still talking about Meng Tianfeng and the inherited heaven sword, Situ Lei, whom Meng Tianfeng said was invited by the Wang clan. Situ Lei was an extremely famous existence in the Sky Sand realm. He was also recognized as one of the strongest experts in the Sky Sand realm. As long as Situ Lei is here, it will be difficult for the Wang clan to decline. Many people sighed inwardly. At this moment, many people had spread the news of what had happened. This made some of the people and forces who had declined the Wang family's invitation feel somewhat regretful. They didn't expect the Wang family to keep in close contact with Situ Lei, the inherited heaven sword. This time, they even invited Situ Lei, who no ordinary person could invite, to the Wang family. I should have gone. Not to mention that I'm not that busy to begin with. Even if I'm really busy, I should still go. I wonder if the Wang clan will bear a grudge this time. The Wang clan's wedding shocked everyone inside and outside the Wang clan. After the news spread throughout Lanxiao City, it caused a stir everywhere, and people began to discuss the meeting between the two strongest experts of the Wang clan. As for Duan Lingtian, who was supposed to be the main character of the day, Li Feng, and Wang Luoyu, their limelight was completely stolen. Of course, the two of them didn't care about this. After going through the entire process of the wedding, the two of them returned to their bridal chamber, which was the courtyard where Duan Lingtian was staying in the Wang clan. At this time, the courtyard had been refurbished. When Duan Lingtian and Wang Luoyu returned, all the servants and maids sensibly waited outside, leaving the bridal chamber to the two of them. Elder brother Duan, you've worked hard today. In the bridal chamber, Wang Luoyu looked at Duan Lingtian with an apologetic expression. Today, this elder brother Duan not only had to do things, but he also had to deal with the malice of Meng Yujing from the Meng clan in Lanxiao City. When the strongest expert from the Meng clan arrived, she even broke out in a cold sweat for this elder brother Duan. Fortunately, it was a close call in the end. It's nothing. Duan Lingtian smiled faintly. In the next few days, we'll continue to stay in the bridal chamber and not go out, creating the illusion that we're in a gentle home. After a few days, I'll look for Patriarch Wang and tell him that I'm going to take you out for a walk. At that time, the Wang clan won't suspect anything. I'll send you far away from the Wang clan and Lanxiao City, and that'll count as fulfilling my promise to your brother. Although he couldn't use what Wang Yiyuan had left for him now, he could imagine that it would be a great help to him in the future. Because of this, as long as there was a glimmer of hope to fulfill Wang Yiyuan's promise, he would give it a try. Yes. Wang Luoyu couldn't help but feel excited when she heard this. She was finally going to leave this place that was like a cage that trapped her freedom. All of this was given to her by her late brother. When she thought of her late brother, Wang Luoyu's eyes turned red again. It took her a long time to return to normal. I want to live well, live freely. That way, I won't waste my brother's painstaking efforts. Wang Luoyu warned herself inwardly. At the same time, a figure appeared in Wang Luoyu's mind. It was a beautiful figure. Apart from her brother, she was the person she trusted the most. Yi Qiangwei, elder brother Duan. Wang Luoyu hesitated for a moment before she finally looked at Duan Lingtian and said, My elder sister Qiangwei seems to like you a little. She's a very good person if it's possible. Before Wang Luoyu could finish speaking, Duan Lingtian cut her off. Impossible. I already have a wife. After I've settled you down, I'll continue to search for a way to save my wife. There's no need to say such nonsense. Duan Lingtian's tone became much calmer as he spoke, causing Wang Luoyu to feel estranged. She instantly shut her mouth and didn't dare to say anything else. Of course, although she didn't say anything else, she still couldn't help but sigh in her heart. Elder sister Qiangwei, as a sister, I've done my best before leaving. In the future, the outer realm and the myriad worlds are vast. I'm afraid it'll be difficult for us to meet again. In order to prevent the plan from failing, even if Wang Luoyu trusted Yi Qiangwei greatly, and felt it was fine to tell Yi Qiangwei the truth, she still couldn't say anything. This was because she had promised her elder brother Duan, who had traveled thousands of miles, to save her. If her elder brother Duan didn't allow her to say anything, it was impossible for her to say anything. Rest well on the bed for the next few days, Duan Lingtian said to Yi Qiangwei, before he disappeared from his spot in just a blink of an eye. He had entered a spatial artifact to cultivate. This spatial artifact was just an ordinary spatial artifact. It was a toy that he had casually refined. With his current attainments in the law of space, even if his weapon refinement level was only at the level of weapon refinement in the mundane realm, he was still able to create this spatial artifact by himself after reading some information on weapon refinement in the outer realm. This spatial artifact was an inconspicuous piece of metal that was exposed under the corner of a square table. Even if others saw it, it would be difficult for them to notice anything unusual about it. When Yi Qiangwei saw this, although she was curious about where her elder brother Duan had gone, she knew he would definitely not leave her behind. If he was such a person, he wouldn't have come to the Wang family in Lan Xiaoqing to look for her. Heaven Inheritance Sword. Duan Lingtian entered the spatial artifact that he had refined himself. He sat cross-legged in the void with his eyes closed. While he was floating in the void, images of what he had experienced today appeared in his mind. Today he had also learned from a group of people that the Heaven Inheritance Sword, Situlei, was extraordinary. Even the new omnipotent expert of the Wang family had to bow down to him. He's as famous as the one from Qiming Mountain in the Heavenly Sand Territory. Duan Lingtian had not seen Situlei. However, he had seen the Qiming demon venerate from the Qiming Mountain before. Back in the Dancing Sun City, he had seen how powerful that Qiming demon venerate was. He had led the Qiming demon venerate from the Qiming Mountain to destroy the Dancing Sun City. He had even found a supreme expert to help him kill the supreme experts of the Dancing Sun City and scare off the supreme experts who had survived. The 5 first-rate clans of Dancing Sun City had also been destroyed. Dancing Sun City had also been reduced to ruins. For this reason, in Duan Lingtian's opinion, a person like Demon Venerable Qiming was a peerless existence who could single-handedly destroy a large city that was guarded by many supreme powerhouses. Today he had learned that the Heaven Inheritance Sword, Situlei, whom the Wang family had invited, was also an omnipotent expert who was not weaker than the Qiming Demon Venerable. Obviously, he was also a figure who could destroy a large city with his own strength. Heaven Inheritance Sword. Judging from his name, he's obviously a sword cultivator. And from what those people said, he's also good at sword principle. When he thought of this, Duan Lingtian's eyes turned. I wonder how far he has come in sword principle. Is he stronger than me? There's a high probability that he's not as good as me. Duan Lingtian was very confident in his own attainments in sword principle. Even though he knew that the Heaven Inheritance Sword Situlei had lived for a long time, the sword principle depended more on luck and talent. Moreover, he had also heard that Situlei did not rely on sword principle to become an omnipotent expert. Although he had mastered sword principle before becoming an omnipotent expert, his attainments in sword principle were not enough to support him to become an omnipotent expert. I wonder if the Wang family will arrange for me to meet him. Originally, Duan Lingtian was just thinking about it casually. However, what he did not expect was that a few days later, not long after he walked out of the bridal chamber, he saw the Wang family head, Wang Kuei, rushing over in a hurry. When Wang Kuei saw Duan Lingtian, his gaze was a little ambiguous, but he did not forget about the business at hand. Brother Li Feng, a few days ago, you heard Meng Tianfeng mention Senior Situ. These few days, Senior Situ is planning to leave. Before he left, he said that he wanted to see you, Brother Li Feng. Chapter 4440. Duan Lingtian did not expect Situlei, the inherited heaven sword, to invite him to a meeting. After all, Situlei was a supreme expert. Moreover, he was not an ordinary supreme expert. In the Heavenly Sand Territory, He was as famous as the Heavenly Sand Territories, Heavenly Sand Territories, Heavenly Sand Territories, Heavenly Sand Territories, Heavenly Sand Territory. Even if he had the chance to meet Situlei, it would be under the recommendation of the Wang clan. If Situlei wanted to meet him personally, he would have to know about his current strength and innate talent. Did the Wang clan tell him that I possess strength close to that of an invincible higher ultimate god, even though I'm not even 10,000 years old? Duan Lingtian could only think of this at this moment. If that's really the case, the Wang clan really doesn't hide anything from him. Based on the situation at the wedding, most of the guests did not know about his strength. Most of them were curious about him as the Wang clan's son-in-law. Due to this reason, he knew the Wang clan did not reveal his background. He had noticed earlier that most of the people in the Wang clan did not know about his background. Therefore, he guessed the Wang clan would not announce this to the public. Under such circumstances, the inherited heaven sword, Situlei, could make the Wang clan take the initiative to mention his strength. It could be said that the Wang clan really did not hide anything from him. Brother Li Feng. Wang Kuei, the clan leader of the Wang clan, said solemnly when he saw Duan Lingtian's doubtful expression. Senior Situ is not an ordinary ally of the Wang clan. This time, it was the Supreme Elder who mentioned Brother Li Feng's strength and talent to Senior Situ. That's why he wanted to see a monstrous talent like you. Most importantly, the Supreme Elder mentioned Brother Li Feng's attainment in the Sword Dao. Senior Situ said that if the Supreme Elder did not exaggerate, your attainment in the Sword Dao is definitely above his. When Wang Kuei said this, he looked at Duan Lingtian again with a hint of shock in the depths of his eyes. He hadn't comprehended any of the four Daos of heaven and earth, so he didn't know much about them. Previously, he had only heard their Wang clan's grand elder, Wang Jingrao, say that the young man before him was extremely accomplished in the way of the sword. However, he did not have any idea about this. Yet now, a supreme expert who stood at the peak of the Sky Sand realm had said that the young man's attainments in the Sword Dao were above his. How could he not be shocked? Since Duan Lingtian had already expected this, he was not surprised by Wang Kuei's words. He guessed that the Wang clan had sold him to Situlei. The only thing he hadn't expected was that the Wang clan had also mentioned the Sword Dao that he had mastered. Presumably, the main reason Situlei wanted to see him was because of the Sword Dao that he had mastered. In terms of strength, I'm far inferior to him. But in terms of attainments in the Sword Dao, he's probably inferior to me. However, even if they walk on different paths of Sword Dao, if they can learn from each other, they can still obtain a certain level of comprehension. That Situlei must have thought of this point. Duan Lingtian had also guessed Situlei's thoughts at this time. It could be said that Situlei wanted to see him. Thinking of this, Duan Lingtian's heart settled. It was not impossible for him to share his comprehension of the Sword Dao for the other party to learn from. As long as the other party gave enough benefits, it was not impossible. Moreover, Duan Lingtian also believed that as long as he entertained Situlei well this time, the Wang clan would completely treat him as one of their own, and would no longer treat him as an outsider. Now the reason why the Wang clan still had its former glory could be said to be completely relying on the inherited heaven sword, Situlei, this big tree. For Situlei, the Wang clan would definitely agree to all his requests. Usually, Situlei did not have anything to ask of the Wang clan. After all, the current Wang clan was a clan that did not even have a supreme expert. Situlei took care of the Wang clan, because of the friendship of the supreme expert of the Wang clan. However, friendship would also fade. Especially after helping the Wang clan time and time again. Every time he helped the Wang clan, he was returning the favor. Perhaps the supreme expert of the Wang clan in the past had done Situlei a great favor, but no matter how great the favor was, there would come a time when it was over. Now that the Wang clan had the opportunity to do Situlei a favor through Duan Lingtian, they were naturally happy to do so. Once Duan Lingtian really did this favor on behalf of the Wang clan, Duan Lingtian would naturally no longer be an outsider on the Wang clan's side from then on. At the very least, the higher-ups of the Wang clan, such as the Wang clan leader Wang Kuei and the two supreme elders with the highest status in the Wang clan, would completely treat Duan Lingtian as one of their own. Brother Li Feng, I'll be frank with you. This time, the Wang clan hopes that you can discuss the Sword Dao with Senior Situ. With your greater attainments than Senior Situ, you'll definitely be able to give him some inspiration. This time, as long as Senior Situ is satisfied, you can ask for anything from the Wang clan. As long as it's within the Wang clan's power, we won't be stingy. Wang Kuei spoke very seriously and directly stated the Wang clan's desire this time without beating around the bush. What Wang Kuei said now was completely in line with what Duan Lingtian had guessed. You jest, clan leader? Duan Lingtian smiled faintly. I, Li Feng, am now the son-in-law of the Wang clan, and can be considered half a member of the Wang clan. If the Wang clan needs something, I, Li Feng, will naturally not decline if it's within my power. I wonder, when will Senior Situ have the time to see me? Duan Lingtian's words were also very simple and direct. Upon hearing Duan Lingtian's words, Wang Kuei's eyes lit up, and in the next moment his tone became much more excited. Brother Li Feng, Senior Situ said that whenever you're free, he can come and see you directly. After Situ Lei found out that Duan Lingtian's attainments in the Sword Dao were above his, he did not feel that he was superior just because he was an ultimate expert. The one who reached the top was first. At least, in the Sword Dao, the son-in-law of the Wang clan was ahead of him. Moreover, he also found out from the Wang clan that this son-in-law of the Wang clan, who was not even 10,000 years old, had such strength behind him. He must have an extraordinary background. Behind the other party's background, there might be an ultimate expert who was stronger than him. For such a person, even if Situ Lei could do whatever he wanted in the Sky Sand realm, he would not dare to take advantage of his seniority. Senior Situ is joking. Duan Lingtian smiled slightly. He's a senior, and I'm a junior. Naturally, I should be the one to see him. Clan leader, please take me to see Senior Situ. Brother Li Feng, thank you. Upon hearing Duan Lingtian's words, Wang Kuei secretly breathed a sigh of relief, and could not help but feel grateful. From his perspective, and even the Wang clan's perspective, naturally, they did not want Situ Lei to come and see Duan Lingtian. After all, Situ Lei's status in the eyes of the Wang clan was extraordinary. Moreover, in terms of age and seniority, Situ Lei was an elder. However, they could not ask too much of Li Feng. Therefore, they could only let Li Feng make the decision himself. Now that Li Feng was so tactful, he breathed a sigh of relief. At the same time, he also sent a message to the Wang clan's grand elder, Wang Jingrao, about Li Feng's attitude. The Wang clan owes Brother Li Feng this favor. After Senior Situ leaves, bring Brother Li Feng to our Wang clan's treasury and let him choose whatever he wants. The Wang clan cannot be stingy in this regard. Of course, with Brother Li Feng's strength and talent, as well as his extraordinary background, even in our Wang clan's treasury, there might not be many things that Brother Li Feng will want. At this moment, Duan Lingtian was following Wang Kuei to find the inherited heaven sword, Situ Lei. However, he did not know that the Wang clan's treasury had already opened its doors to him, allowing him to choose any treasure he wanted. Chapter 44-41. It was not like Duan Lingtian had never seen a supreme powerhouse before. Even before coming to the outer realm, he had seen the supreme experts in the realm battlefield of the god-defying realm, and had even come into contact with them. However, there seemed to be only one supreme powerhouse that he had met in the past. The feeling he got from him was not weaker than the inherited heaven sword, Situ Lei. It was a very strange feeling. Situ Lei had the demeanor of an immortal. He seemed ordinary, but he gave him a lot of pressure. Even the divine tree of life in his small world throbbed. He had not felt this way for a long time. Only when he was bathing in the god-defying world's realm battlefield in the god-defying world did the owner of the mysterious voice give him such a feeling. Of course, the person who showed up at that time might not be the real body. If the person who showed up at that time was not the real body, does that mean that his strength might be above Situ Lei's? At this moment, Duan Lingtian could not help but think. Thinking of this, Duan Lingtian could not help but secretly gasp. The inherited heaven sword, Situ Lei, was already a top figure in the heavenly sand realm. How strong would the person be if he was stronger than him? Of course, Duan Lingtian also knew that although the inherited heaven sword, Situ Lei, was a top figure in the heavenly sand realm, he did not represent the top combat power in the outer realm. This was because even the heavenly sand realm was only the border of the outer realm. It belonged to the outer realm, the most remote and backward place. This was also something that Duan Lingtian further understood after coming to the Wang family in Lanchao City. Greetings, Senior Situ. After all, it was not the first time that Duan Lingtian had faced a supreme powerhouse. He had even seen a battle between supreme powerhouses. At this moment, he seemed very casual in front of Situlei. Compared to the Wang family head, Wang Kuei, he was completely opposite. At this moment, Wang Kuei respectfully greeted Situlei in front of him. He held his breath and did not even dare to breathe. Seeing Duan Lingtian like this, a strange light flashed in the depths of Situlei's eyes. And then he gave a friendly smile. Little friendly Feng, there's no need to be so polite. In terms of cultivation, I'm superior to you because I'm much older than you. In terms of the sword Dao, I might not be inferior to you. As soon as he finished speaking, Situlei continued without waiting for Duan Lingtian to speak. I presume little friendly Feng already knows the purpose of my invitation this time. I'm a straightforward person who likes to be straightforward and doesn't like to beat around the bush. The reason I'm looking for you, young friendly Feng, is because I hope to discuss sword Dao with you, young friendly Feng. As long as I benefit from the discussion, I will definitely not mistreat my young friendly Feng. Situlei simply said. Duan Lingtian was also shocked by Situlei's straightforwardness. He thought that Situlei just wanted him to demonstrate his swordsmanship through the Wang family, but now it seemed that Situlei was also very sincere. This also made Duan Lingtian have a good impression of Situlei. No matter what, Situlei was still a high and mighty expert, and the current him was not even an invincible upper-level ultimate god. Senior Situ, you must be joking. Duan Lingtian smiled slightly. Now that I've married the daughter of the Wang family, I'm considered half a member of the Wang family. Senior, you've taken great care of the Wang family all these years. Now that I'm the son-in-law of the Wang family, it's only right for me to do something for you. I dare not ask for anything in return. As soon as Duan Lingtian said this, Wang Kuei's gaze toward Duan Lingtian became even friendlier. Situlei was stunned for a moment before he laughed. Good. The Wang family has really found a good son-in-law this time. Senior Situ, I'll take my leave first. After greeting Situlei, Wang Kuei looked at Duan Lingtian again and said with a smile, Brotherly Feng, please take good care of Senior Situ on behalf of the Wang family. Now, no matter how he looked at the young man in front of him, he was pleasing to the eye. Their Wang family had really found a good son-in-law this time. Compared to him, Meng Yuzheng of the Meng family in Kanglan City was simply mud. Don't worry, family head. Duan Lingtian nodded. I won't hide anything from Senior Situ. As for Duan Lingtian, he really didn't intend to keep it to himself. In his opinion, Situlei was a supreme expert, and he had a good relationship with him. For him, there were only benefits and no disadvantages. Even if Situlei found out the purpose of his visit to the Wang family in the future, he might not do anything to him, and might even remember his favor. And with his favor, when the Wang family found out the truth in the future, they might not hold a grudge against him. He still had a good impression of some people in the Wang family. If he could save Wang Luoyu without falling out with the Wang family, he did not want to fall out with the Wang family. Of course, his original plan would not change. Although he felt that even if he told the Wang family the truth now, the Wang family would not do anything to him. He still did not intend to take the risk. What if? Among the people in power in the Wang family, he had only seen the Supreme Elder Wang Jingrao and the family head Wang Kuei. There was still one Supreme Elder that he had not seen yet. Wonderful. Amazing. Young friendly Feng, your sword Dao is simply superb. I thought that even if my sword Dao is not as good as yours, the gap is not big. Now it seems that I am a frog in a well. If I can master the sword Dao at your level, I am confident that I can suppress all the powerful experts in Heavenly Sand Realm. Seeing Duan Lingtian show the profundity of sword Dao without holding back, the inherited heaven sword Situlei's eyes shone brighter and brighter. In the end, he also gestured. Another profundity of sword Dao appeared in Duan Lingtian's divine artifact. At this moment, Situlei had entered the space in Duan Lingtian's spatial divine artifact. It was risky for an ordinary person to rashly enter someone else's spatial divine artifact. However, as a supreme expert, if Situlei really unleashed his full power, he could easily destroy the space in Duan Lingtian's spatial divine artifact and escape. In front of Situlei, Duan Lingtian did his best to show the profundity of Sword Dao. He showed the profundity of space Sword Dao without holding back, causing Situlei to be mesmerized. During this process, Duan Lingtian also looked at Situlei's Sword Dao. It was not difficult for him to find some flaws in it. If Situlei wanted to observe Duan Lingtian's Sword Dao, it would be difficult for him to fix these flaws. However, under Duan Lingtian's guidance, although he could not make up for many flaws, he knew the root cause of the next time. As long as Situlei was given time, he could completely eliminate those flaws. And this also made Situlei grateful to Duan Lingtian. After getting along for a period of time, Duan Lingtian also understood the supreme expert better. In front of him, the other party was completely on the same level as him, and never put on the slightest airs. Even when asking for his guidance, he was as obedient as a studious student. Of course, after getting along with the other party for a period of time, Duan Lingtian was not without gains. Although the other party's Sword Dao was not enough to feed back Duan Lingtian, the other party still gave Duan Lingtian a lot of pointers on the laws of space and the laws of time. Although the other party was not good at these two laws, after all, he had lived for a long time. Many opponents and friends were good at the laws of space and the laws of time, so he could also guide Duan Lingtian in this regard. The two of them guided each other and stayed together for a full 3 years before leaving the spatial artifact. Duan Lingtian's original plan to leave the Wang family in a few days was delayed for a full 3 years. On the other side, Wang Luoyu was also patiently waiting. While waiting, her days were also much better than before. It could even be said that it was a world of difference. Every few days, a large amount of cultivation resources that even the direct descendants of the Wang clan would be jealous of would be delivered to her for her to enjoy. She was like the most honorable princess of the Wang family, shining brightly. Some people said that the grandson of the Wang family's patriarch, Wang Kuei, was publicly slapped by Wang Kuei because he accidentally said something about Wang Luoyu's deceased brother, Wang Yuan. At that moment, everyone in the Wang family knew that Wang Luoyu had flown to the top and become the Wang family's golden phoenix. At the same time, more and more people were curious about the background of Wang Luoyu's husband, the young man named Li Feng. What kind of background did he have to be able to allow Wang Luoyu's status in the Wang family to skyrocket? Miss you, everyone in the Wang family is saying that you have a good reputation for marrying a person of such high status like young Master Li Feng. The servant girl who helped Wang Luoyu with her makeup said to Wang Luoyu. When Wang Luoyu heard this, she could not help but feel a little dazed. Then a bitter smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. She was not good enough for that elder brother Duan. It's been 3 years. Elder brother Duan should be coming back soon, right? Wang Luoyu thought to herself. Chapter 44-42. 3 years was enough for Wang Luoyu to come up with many new ideas. 3 years ago, the first thing she wanted to do was follow her elder brother Duan's dying wish, and leave the Wang clan with her elder brother Duan. From then on, she would no longer be a marriage tool for the Wang clan. Now that she had been in the Wang clan for 3 years, she had been treated extremely well by the Wang clan. Even the clan leader of the Wang clan, Wang Kuei, was extremely courteous when he saw her. She was even fortunate enough to meet one of the Wang clan's supreme elders. The supreme elders even told her that she could look for him directly if she needed help. The change in the Wang clan's attitude towards her was like heaven and earth. Now, she was like a high and mighty princess in the Wang clan. She was sought after by everyone. No matter where she went, she was like the moon surrounded by stars. It should be known that even when her elder brother Wang Yuan was still alive, she had never received such treatment. Of course, Wang Luoyu knew very well that the reason she was able to receive such treatment was all because of her elder brother Duan. Of course, in the eyes of the Wang clan, he was not Duan Lingtian but Li Feng. Recently, she had thought more than once about how great it would be if her elder brother Duan was not Duan Lingtian, but Li Feng, her husband. Moreover, under the influence of the people around her, And when she thought about how considerate and responsible her elder brother Duan was, she had unknowingly developed a favorable impression of him. Perhaps, even if she was asked to marry him now, she would not reject it. Big brother Duan is really outstanding. It's no wonder that even a woman like Big Sister Rose who has high standards would favor him so much. Wang Luoyu sighed inwardly. She knew very well how high her good sister's standards were. In the entire Skysan territory, there was no young talent of the same generation that she liked. Of course, she also knew that such an outstanding man did not belong to her sister Rose, and it was impossible for him to belong to her. I can't believe. 3 years have passed in the blink of an eye. 3 years was not a long time for Duan Lingtian, and it passed in the blink of an eye. Moreover, he had spent the past 3 years with Situlei, the inherited heaven sword. While he demonstrated the sword Dao to Situlei also tried his best to help him comprehend the law of time and the law of space. Although Situlei was not proficient in these two laws, he had lived for a long time and was very knowledgeable. Moreover, he had many floating mirror image, that he had fought with people who were proficient in these two laws. Among those scryer images, there were even scryer images of invincible high-level ultimate gods fighting, not to mention the scryer image of an invincible upper-level supreme god, who was proficient in the law of time and the law of space. Even the scryer image of an invincible upper-level supreme god, who was proficient in other ordinary laws, was extremely precious in the outer realm, or even the myriad worlds. More than 90% of invincible higher-level supreme gods were existences who had comprehended and mastered the laws of nature to the realm of perfection. Such an existence could be said to have walked to the end of the law he was proficient in and comprehended to the pinnacle. The laws displayed in the scryer recordings of such existences could be said to be flawless. One could imagine how precious it was. And Duan Lingtian had obtained such a scryer image from Situlei. It should be known that this kind of scryer image, because of its preciousness, was often recorded with restrictions on it, and there was no way to forcibly copy it. And Situlei had given this scryer image to Duan Lingtian. To the current Duan Lingtian, the value of this scryer image was actually not inferior to the godhead of an ultimate god in the law of space. In fact, it might even be of greater help to him. Therefore, even though Situlei's attainments in the sword Dao had not been small in the past 3 years, Duan Lingtian still felt that he had gained a great advantage. Perhaps, the improvement he had obtained in the law of space was not as good as Situlei's gains in the sword Dao. But that might not be the case in the future. Little friendly Feng, after parting today, I don't know when we'll meet again. There should be some things in this storage ring that you can use. Even if you can't use them, it shouldn't be difficult to exchange them for something you can use. Before parting, Situlei handed Duan Lingtian a storage ring. In these 3 years, thanks to little friendly Feng's magnanimity, my progress in the sword Dao has been rapid. Perhaps, it won't be long before there will be no one who can match me in the heavenly sands realm. As he spoke, Situlei's eyes were filled with yearning. Currently, although he was considered one of the strongest ultimate gods in the heavenly sands realm, he was only one of the strongest ultimate gods. There were still a few people who could compete with him. And if his sword Dao improved further, there was hope for him to surpass those few people. And this was not the most important thing. The most important thing was that the increase in his strength also meant that it would be much easier for him to resist the next 10,000 years of heavenly tribulation. Resisting the 10,000 years of heavenly tribulation became easier, which also meant that he could live for a period of time. This was the most important thing. Because of this, he felt that he owed Duan Lingtian a great favor. Even if he had given Duan Lingtian a scryer recording of a battle between two ultimate gods who had comprehended the laws of space to perfection, he still felt that it was far from enough. In his eyes, there was nothing more important than his own life. Whether it was that scryer recording or the storage ring in his hands, they were all just worldly possessions. Once he died, no matter how good his worldly possessions were, he would not be able to enjoy them. Senior Situ, that scryer recording of yours is enough to repay my favor. Duan Lingtian did not take the storage ring that Situlei handed over. Even though he knew that there were definitely many things he needed in this storage ring, as he said, he felt that the scryer recording given by Situlei was enough to repay the favor of sharing his understanding of the sword Dao. At first, Situlei was still insisting, but when he saw Duan Lingtian's determination, he did not continue to force Duan Lingtian. However, at this time, there was a slight change in the way he looked at Duan Lingtian. Little friendly Feng, it's fine if you don't accept this storage ring. However, I will give little friendly Feng another thing. This thing, little friendly Feng, you must accept it. This thing to little friendly Feng may never be of use. However, once it is of use, to little friendly Feng, it may be a life-saving item. As Situlei spoke, he had already raised his hand and took out an ordinary-looking jade piece. However, when a light flashed between his eyebrows, there was another drop of golden blood, surrounded by obscure golden translucent symbols, that shot out and merged into the jade piece in his hand. Suddenly, the golden light on the jade piece soared and disappeared after a while. At the same time, the jade piece returned to its original appearance. The only difference was that there was an additional mark of golden blood on the jade piece. At the same time, the jade piece no longer gave off an ordinary feeling. It emitted an extremely terrifying aura. This aura gave people the feeling that there was an ancient ferocious beast sealed within it. Once it erupted, it could break mountains and even destroy the heavens and earth. Supreme Powerhouse Spiritual Blood Essence. Just as Duan Lingtian was stunned by the scene in front of him, a cry of surprise rang in his ears. This voice belonged to one of the 5 divine elements in Duan Lingtian's little world, the world-cleansing divine water. Supreme Powerhouse Spiritual Blood Essence? Duan Lingtian was puzzled. This was the first time he had heard of this term. He knew what blood essence was, but what was this spiritual blood essence? Chapter 44-43. This was Duan Lingtian's first time hearing about the spiritual blood essence. For this reason, he had no idea what it was. However, when he heard the world-cleansing divine water's exclamation, he realized the spiritual blood essence was not an ordinary item. Of course, just by listening to the words of Situlei, the inherited heaven sword, it was enough to show that the essence blood was not an ordinary thing. After all, Situlei had said it could save his life at a critical moment. The spiritual blood essence is the blood essence of a supreme powerhouse. You know what a normal blood essence is. It's very precious to humans and other living beings. As for the spiritual colored blood essence, it is specially refined from the blood essence of an ultimate expert. Although the difficulty of refining it is not very high and it does not affect one's cultivation, it still requires a very long time. The world-cleansing divine water's voice rang in Duan Lingtian's ears again. It said that it takes a supreme powerhouse more than 10,000 years to refine a drop of spiritual blood essence. More than 10,000 years? Duan Lingtian was shocked when he heard the world-cleansing divine water's words. Although supreme powerhouses were powerful and lived for a long time, they could easily live for hundreds of thousands of years, or even hundreds of thousands of years. However, even a supreme powerhouse who had lived for hundreds of thousands of years could only refine a few dozen drops of spiritual blood essence in his lifetime. However, Situlei, the heaven-cleansing divine sword, had given him a drop of spiritual blood essence. Sister Water, what's the use of this spiritual blood essence? Duan Lingtian could not help but ask. Earlier, Situlei, the heaven-cleansing divine sword, had clearly said the spiritual blood essence could save his life at a critical moment. Although Duan Lingtian was reluctant to accept it, he could not help but feel a little moved. At most, he would owe Situlei a favor and repay him in the future. Currently, Duan Lingtian might not have any use for him, but if he became an invincible higher godly venerable one day, Duan Lingtian might need his help. When the time came, he would return the favor. As Duan Lingtian waited expectantly, the world-cleansing divine water said, "You can summon the Supreme Powerhouse's spirit blood essence after you use your divine energy and the law of space to evaporate it. You can use the spirit blood essence as a portal for the Supreme Powerhouse. It can allow the Supreme Powerhouse to appear at the scene directly." Upon hearing the world-cleansing divine water's words, Duan Lingtian's eyes narrowed, and his breathing quickened. What does this mean? This meant that he could call out a powerhouse at any time. Moreover, he wasn't the weakest among the strongest. Of course, there are also restrictions. The world-cleansing divine water continued to say, If you accept his blood essence, you'll be able to summon him anywhere in the outer world. However, he won't be able to appear in the secret realms where supreme experts can't enter. In addition, there's no way to make him appear in any of the realms, unless he's in the same realm as you. Upon hearing the world-cleansing divine water's words, Duan Ling Tian could not help but ask, Sister Water, do you mean I can summon Senior Situlei to help me as long as it's not a place where supreme powerhouses can't enter? Yes, the world-cleansing divine water replied. Duan Ling Tian, on the other hand, did not reject Situlei's gift of the inherited heaven sword after he found out what the soul-bearing blood essence meant. Senior, Duan Ling Tian's expression was solemn as he said, the soul force blood essence you gave me is indeed a life-saving treasure, so I won't refuse. However, if I don't need your help, I'll return it to you when I no longer need your help. And before that, if I use this spirit essence blood and ask for Senior's help, then I will owe Senior another favor. When he spoke up to this point, Duan Ling Tian saw Situlei seemed to want to say something, so he spoke first. Senior, you can take this as a condition for me to accept your spiritualist blood essence. If you're not willing to do this, I really don't dare to accept your spirit blood essence. Duan Ling Tian's persistence caused Situlei to not say anything more, but the gaze he looked at Duan Ling Tian with was filled with even more praise. Little friendly Feng, your innate talent is outstanding. After today's farewell, I believe your strength will definitely improve the next time we meet. However, I still advise you not to rush to become an ultimate powerhouse if you have the chance to become an invincible higher ultimate god. If you become an ultimate god, your strength will be improved by leaps and bounds. However, if you don't comprehend the law to the perfection realm before that, it'll be difficult to comprehend the law to the perfection realm after becoming an ultimate god. At least, in the history of the outer realm, and even the myriad worlds, I've never heard of anyone who only comprehended the law to the perfection realm after stepping into the ultimate god realm. In the outer realm and the 10,000 worlds, as long as an ultimate master becomes an ultimate master, they'll be considered a world master. Even if they're not, they're close. Their strength is not comparable to an ordinary ultimate god. Even if it's me, I'm far from an ultimate god who becomes an ultimate god. Situlei paused for a moment before continuing. Of course, once you become an ultimate god, it'll be more difficult to become an ultimate god. This is also a publicly acknowledged fact. I don't know why it's difficult. After all, I'm not an invincible higher ultimate god before I become an ultimate god. However, since everyone says it's difficult, it should be very difficult. I've lived for more than 200,000 years. In these 200,000 years, I know many invincible higher ultimate gods who didn't become ultimate gods until they fell under the 1,000-year heavenly tribulation. As for those people, before they became unrivaled high-level supreme gods, they were all people who could have become extremely strong experts, but they didn't. If you don't become an invincible higher ultimate god, it's easy to become an ultimate god. However, once you become an invincible higher ultimate god, it'll be extremely difficult to become an ultimate god. In the 200,000 years I've lived, the number of people I know who successfully became an ultimate god from an invincible higher ultimate god can be counted on one hand. You should be able to understand what I'm saying, right? If it were an ordinary person, I'd definitely advise him to become an ultimate god directly, so that he can live longer. Once he becomes an invincible higher ultimate god, he may not have the chance to become an ultimate god in the future. However, you're different. You've achieved this before you're even 10,000 years old. I think if you become an invincible higher ultimate god, it should be easier for you to become an ultimate god than most invincible higher ultimate gods. It had to be said that this was the first time Duan Ling Tian had heard Situlei's words. Was it difficult for an invincible higher ultimate god to become an ultimate god? However, it was easy for these invincible higher ultimate gods to become ultimate gods before they became invincible higher ultimate gods? Perhaps, this is another reason why there are so few invincible higher ultimate gods. Not every higher ultimate god wants to become an invincible higher ultimate god. If they can become an ultimate god, they'll directly choose to become an ultimate god, so that they can live longer. Once they become an invincible higher ultimate god, but can't become an ultimate god, these people will definitely not live as long as the former. After all, before becoming an ultimate god, the heavenly tribulation comes once every 1,000 years. After becoming an ultimate god, the heavenly tribulation comes once every 10,000 years. It had to be said that after learning this from Situlei, Duan Lingtian's heart, which originally wanted to chase after an invincible higher ultimate god, was slightly shaken. With his attainments in sword principle, even if his power of law did not reach the perfection stage, after becoming an ultimate god and consolidating his strength might not be weaker than Situlei. He might even be stronger. Once he chased after an invincible higher ultimate god, he might not be able to become an ultimate god. However, once he became an ultimate god with the body of an invincible higher ultimate god, he could directly become a universe master. It was said that there were only a few dozen ultimate gods in the 10,000 worlds and the outer realm who were universe masters. This showed how difficult it was to become a universe master. Forget it. Senior Situlei is right. I'm not even 10,000 years old, and I already have such strength. If I really become an invincible higher ultimate god, I might have a chance to become an ultimate god. For me, the most important thing now is to save Kerr. Being an invincible higher ultimate god is more than enough to save Kerr. As long as he became an invincible higher ultimate god, he could choose to serve under a universe master. This way, he could ask a universe master to help his wife, Kerr, get rid of the soul shackles that Yin Qingyan had placed on her. If he directly became an ultimate god, he might not be able to get rid of the soul shackles that Yin Qingyan had placed on Kerr. He might not even be able to ask a universe master to help him. In the eyes of a universe master, an ordinary ultimate god was not worth as much as an invincible higher ultimate god. This was because they could do what an ordinary ultimate god could do, but they might not be able to do what an invincible higher ultimate god could do. As he thought of this, Duan Lingtian hesitated for a while before looking at Situlei and asking, "Senior, do you know about the Ghost Clan?" Ghost Clan. Situlei was stunned for a moment before he nodded. I've heard of this clan. It seems to be a clan from one of the realms in the myriad worlds. This clan specializes in the soul shackles way. Based on Situlei's reaction, it was obvious that his understanding of the Ghost Clan was based on hearsay. Senior, it's said that there are ultimate gods in the Ghost Clan as well. Generally, soul shackles that are placed by the Ghost Clan can be easily removed by someone with a higher cultivation base. If it's a soul shackles placed by an ultimate god in the Ghost Clan, ordinary ultimate gods won't be able to remove it. However, if it's a universe master, will they be able to remove it? After he finished asking, Duan Lingtian looked at Situlei with a gaze that was filled with anticipation. He urgently needed to know this. Chapter 44-44. Normally, it should be possible. After listening to Duan Lingtian's words, Situlei pondered for a moment before he said loudly, although universe venerables are also called supreme powerhouses like us, the strength of a universe venerables is a qualitative transformation compared to other supreme powerhouses. The power of a universe master is quite different from that of an ordinary ultimate master. That's right. In terms of the level of the soul, it should also be quite different. The reason why Situlei said probably was because he had never come into contact with a universe master before. His understanding of universe masters was based on hearsay. Of course, these are all my speculations. After all, I am not capable of coming into contact with a universe master yet. Speaking of this, Situlei looked at Duan Lingtian again and said, however, I speculate that if a universe master were to break the soul imprisonment of an ordinary supremacy from the Nightmare Soul Clan, it should not be a problem. Moreover, even if an ordinary universe master is unable to break the soul imprisonment, a universe master who is skilled in the way of the soul should be able to do it. If what Situlei said was true, Duan Lingtian only felt a little hope. However, the last sentence made Duan Lingtian's eyes light up. A universe master who was skilled in the way of the soul. That was right. A universe master might not be able to save Kerr, But a universe master who was skilled in the way of the soul would definitely be able to do it. My friendly Feng, why are you suddenly asking this? Has someone around you been imprisoned by the Nightmare Soul clan? Even the supremes behind you can't break the soul imprisonment? Situlei asked doubtfully. At this moment, he could also see Duan Lingtian's excitement. Yes. Duan Lingtian nodded. Then he thought of the ancestor of the Xia clan in the world of divine remains who couldn't do anything about Ker's soul imprisonment. He let out a long sigh and said, "Ordinary experts can't do anything." Situlei was not surprised by Duan Lingtian's words. After all, it was impossible for an ordinary supreme powerhouse to break free from the soul shackles cast by a supreme powerhouse from the Spectre clan. Of course, at this moment, Situlei also confirmed one thing. There was no universe master behind the young man named Li Feng. He couldn't help but feel a little shocked by this. This was because when he first found out that the other party had such achievements before the age of 10,000, he subconsciously guessed that there should be a universe master behind the other party. In his opinion, only a universe master could possibly cultivate such a monstrous genius in such a short period of time. Now, when he realized that there was no universe master behind the person in front of him, he couldn't help but feel inexplicably shocked. Without the help of a universe master, one could imagine how difficult it was to get to this point. This little friendly Feng, as long as he can grow up smoothly in the future, he will definitely be a famous figure in the outer realm, and even the 10,000 world. Situlei thought to himself. After asking Situlei about the Nightmare Soul clan, Duan Lingtian didn't chat with him anymore. After bidding farewell to Situlei, he flew toward the residence that the Wang clan had arranged for him. Wang Luoyu was still there. Situlei was also preparing to leave the Wang clan. Before they parted, he said that he would go and say goodbye to the Wang clan leader before leaving. He also asked Duan Lingtian to let the Wang clan leader, Wang Kuei, look for him if he needed anything in the future. As long as it was within his power, he would not refuse. Obviously, in these 3 years, Situlei had benefited a lot from Duan Lingtian. Duan Lingtian was extremely clear in his heart that after this parting, it would probably be difficult for him to meet Situlei again in the future. Even if there really was a chance, it would most likely be when he used up the spirit accumulation blood essence that Situlei gave him. Once he used up the spiritual blood essence, he would owe Situlei a big favor, and would probably take the initiative to look for him in the future. Elder brother Duan. Wang Luoyu had waited 3 whole years for Duan Lingtian to return. Sorry to keep you waiting. Duan Lingtian smiled. Get ready. We will leave tomorrow. Duan Lingtian did not intend to stay in the Wang clan for long. The sooner he sent Wang Luoyu away, the sooner he would fulfill his promise to Wang Yiyuan. Elder brother Duan. At this moment, Wang Luoyu was somewhat hesitant to speak. Only after a while did she muster up the courage to say, with your current status in the Wang family, even if you leave alone, the Wang family will definitely not allow me to remarry. Duan Lingtian was stunned when he heard Wang Luoyu's words. Then he thought about it and understood. In these 3 years he had contributed to the Wang clan, and further strengthened the relationship between the Wang clan and the inherited heaven sword, Situlei. Under such circumstances, how could the Wang clan treat Wang Luoyu unfairly? After all, in the eyes of the Wang clan, Wang Luoyu was Li Feng's wife. That's right. Duan Lingtian nodded. If he was not sure if the Wang clan's attitude toward Wang Luoyu would change after he left. Now he was certain that the Wang clan's attitude toward Wang Luoyu would not change because of his departure. Firstly, the Wang clan was indebted to him for sharing Sword Dao with Situlei. Secondly, the Wang family would also consider his potential and the powerful forces outside the heavenly sand realm that might be behind him. Therefore, even if he left the Wang clan for thousands of years, the Wang clan would definitely not treat Wang Luoyu unfairly. Have you thought it through? Duan Lingtian asked Wang Luoyu again. Yes. Wang Luoyu nodded. The Wang clan is where I grew up. I've never been to any place other than Lanqiao City. If I can stay, I don't want to leave. Elder brother Duan. My brother Wang Yiyuan asked you to take me away because he didn't want my fate to be manipulated by the Wang clan. Now because of you, the Wang clan can no longer manipulate my fate. At the very least, I don't have to worry about the Wang clan manipulating me before I die in the heavenly tribulation. So, even if you don't take me away, you've fulfilled your promise to my brother. All of this is my own choice." After Wang Luoyu finished speaking, Duan Lingtian pondered for a moment before he spoke again. "There's a problem that you have to consider. If you continue to stay in the Wang clan, it'll be difficult for you to find another marriage in the future. If you take the initiative to seek one, I'm afraid the Wang clan won't allow it." Hearing Duan Lingtian's words, Wang Luoyu smiled sweetly. "Elder brother Duan, I don't plan to seek any marriage in this life. It's quite good to be alone." Duan Lingtian sighed when he heard this. "Think about it again. I'll give you 3 days. After 3 days, either you leave with me, or I leave on my own. I think your brother Wang Yiyuan definitely wants you to find your own happiness in the future. If you can't stay in the Wang clan, you'll regain the right to pursue your own happiness after leaving the Wang clan. If Wang Luoyu stayed in the Wang clan, she would definitely be branded as Li Feng's wife. The Wang clan would not allow outsiders to taint the wife of their son-in-law, Li Feng. To them, the powerful background behind Li Feng might be somewhat illusory. However, the relationship between Li Feng and the inherited heaven sword, Situlei, was very real. No one can understand Situlei's gratitude better than the Wang family. Seeing Duan Lingtian turn and leave, leaving her alone in the empty room, Wang Luoyu heaved a long sigh. "Elder brother Duan, after meeting you, I realized that there's such a perfect young talent in the world. With you as a comparison, I'm afraid it'll be impossible for me to find someone I like in this life. If that's the case, I might as well spend the rest of my life alone." Of course, Duan Lingtian could not hear Wang Luoyu's words. 3 days later, Duan Lingtian left the Wang clan alone. At the entrance of the Wang clan's patriarch, Wang Kuei, the Wang clan's supreme elder, Wang Jingrao, and Wang Luoyu sent Duan Lingtian off. "Clan leader, grand elder, I have urgent matters to attend to and need to leave for a while. Please take care of Luoyu." Even though he knew that Wang Kuei and Wang Jingrao would look for Wang Luoyu even if he did not say anything, Duan Lingtian still specifically instructed them. "Don't worry, brother Li Feng." Wang Kuei laughed heartily. "Later, I'll announce to the entire Wang clan and the outside world that I, Wang Kuei, recognize Luoyu as my sister, and Grand Elder will also recognize Luoyu as his goddaughter. From now on, she'll be the princess of the Wang clan." Wang Jingrao smiled and nodded. "Don't worry. I promise you, as long as the Wang clan is not destroyed, Luoyu will not lose a single hair." "Duan, brother Feng." As for Wang Luoyu, she immediately changed her words. 2 streams of tears fell from her eyes, and her face was filled with reluctance. Although they were not husband and wife, she could not help but feel sad and reluctant when she thought about how she was treated in the Wang clan because of this person in front of her. "I'll be back as soon as possible." Duan Lingtian smiled lightly before bidding farewell to Wang Kuei and Wang Jingrao. Then he flew away with the wind, leaving the Wang clan and Lanshao city as well. The 3 members of the Wang clan only regained their senses after Duan Lingtian's figure disappeared from their sight. The moment Duan Lingtian left Lan Xiaocheng, in a corner of Lan Xiaocheng, a figure also rose into the air and followed from afar. Based on the current situation, there shouldn't be any strong people hiding around Li Feng to protect him in the dark. Unless it's a strong person hiding in the dark, which is why I can't discover him. Let's follow him and take a look. The person who followed Duan Lingtian from afar was completely covered in a loose black robe, and it was impossible to see his appearance and figure clearly. However, as his figure moved, it was as if a green saber light flashed. In the blink of an eye, his saber had traveled thousands of miles, sweeping across the land. You're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.